Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I am highlighting a pond skirt area that we're going to be addressing. This is pretty common in the wintertime. You know, animals are big, strong, heavy animals. And when you get rain and they have to drink out of the pond, this is kind of what they do. And it's no fault of the animal. It's just they want to drink. And they go down to the edge of your pond, and this is what happens to it. So this is a very valuable pond. It's an excellent fishing pond, and it's just you know, as a steward of the land, I can't take this. This is a lease farm, and what we're getting ready to do, it does cost a little bit of money. But I'm in this thing for the long haul, and I want my landowners to realize that we are concerned about their land, and we're going to take care of it. We're going to fix it. And I am so happy with these skirts, these rock skirts that Johnny's been putting in. And so I wanted to show you a before picture and an after. So he's actually going to clean this piece up right here, just kind of smooth that all in, because I'm actually moving the skirt over here. So it's going to be kind of right in the middle of that area. And this, the skirt is 18 feet long, and then it comes out 8 feet here on the bank. And this is going to have 12 ton of the 6-inch, I think they call it 4 to 6 inch rock as a base. So we'll have 12 ton of that put down in a trench that runs from those posts all the way over to these blue posts. So he's going to dig all that out. He's going to go down probably 2 to 3 feet. And then from there, he kind of gradually knocks this bank off back here, and he brings in the 2-inch rock and puts that over the top. But we've been having Johnny build several of these, and he's getting quite efficient at it. If he doesn't have to go very far to get his rock, which he doesn't on this one, it's right there, he can get this pad put in, gosh, probably an hour and a half. I mean, he doesn't waste any time. Where it costs you time with the skid steers, if he's got to travel, you know, a quarter mile to get a bucket of rock. But I've got some excellent rock haulers. The Miller brothers, Sam and Steve, out of Clark, Missouri here, and they've got the big trucks. They can haul 24 ton. And so with one load, I split it. We got another pond over to the hill here, clear back over on this house cedars, and it's an old pond. It's the same way. It's got a mucked up area on it, and so with one load, I had him put half of that 24 ton here. So there's 12 ton right there, and then his brother came back with his second truck, and he gave me half a load of the 2-inch here. And then we have a carbon copy of these piles over the hill at the next pond site. So Johnny's going to be up here probably within 30 minutes. He's fueling up his skid steer this morning. He'll be roading that thing right down that gravel road over there through the trees. Matter of fact, I think I hear he just started it. Anyway, I wanted to show you all a before and after. So this is the before. You can see it's quite ugly down there. And not only is it hard on the animals to walk in that mud when it's frozen and muddy and muck, it's not good. It's not good financially because you're putting stress on your animals. We did have a 400-pound bull that got upside down on one of those a while back. And we found him. He was in the pond. His head was under the water, drowned. What happened, I guess, there was enough animals coming to that mud spot that he got rough horsed around, and he ended up on his back with his feet still stuck in the mud. Well, it doesn't take very many incidences like that to make you want to do something different. And it only took one for me. I'm like, that's it, no more. So you can call this whatever you want, you know, spending money or whatever. I'm calling it keeping land lease owners, the landowners happy, It's keeping the animals healthy and safe, and high quality water. They're not going to be allowed to camp out in that pond. They're going to walk down this rock skirt, and they're going to get them a drink. And so I just wanted to show you this. I'll do a video afterwards just to show you the difference. We do have a permanent wire. We can see where it runs. It's clear up here on the bank. And it wouldn't hurt to move that wire in 3 feet probably, just to keep the brush. We can see which side the animals graze, which side they don't. See a difference? So every piece of land that you fence off from animals, it does grow up into brush. That's what happens in Missouri, or in central Missouri, let's put it that way. If you don't graze it, it will go back to a forest. And when I say forest, in your lifetime, it's just going to be brush. 100 years from now, it might be hardwood forest, but not in your lifetime. It's going to take a long time. But I can't wait to fix this. We'll actually bring some hay in here. Johnny's going to slough all that down, get it nice and smooth. We'll put some seed on that. We'll protect it. And one of the things that's hurting us right here is the angle. See, that's a pretty steep angle coming down that hill. So when you get rock on there, especially the big rock, and it gets it deep, it's going to be 2 foot deep, that big rock up there. So it's going to be a really good base. And then we'll put a 1.5 foot of the 2-inch on top of it. We've already used one of these ramps 3 days, and it rained during that period. And I was pleasantly surprised what 375 head did to that pad. They didn't phase it. I mean, if anything, they just compressed it a little bit. It looked like you took a one of those highway rollers, those big steel rollers, and rolled it real good. Well, that's what they do. All those feet going in and out, in and out, in and out, and dripping a little water on it. You couldn't have compacted that water pad any better than those cows did. So I'm pretty happy with it. We've put quite a few of these in on the Judy farm because that's the direction we're going to be heading here after we get done with docks on the big farm. And Judy farm has got a lot of ponds on it. And we were dealing with this. And I hated it. So let's just go over the financials on it. Here in central Missouri, now it's going to vary where you're at, what the rock's going to cost you. But this particular rock, the bigger rock is cheaper because they don't have to grind it into small pieces. But you're going to end up with about $500 in rock. And then Johnny's time, he's $125 an hour, or 100 for the skid steer. And so I've got about an hour and a half in that. So for about $600, $650, I've got a good water pad. Folks, or water skirt. That's cheaper than a tire tank. And the boys and I sat down and went through all the financials on it. And that's a separate video. I'm going to go over it. We broke down the tire tanks with the pad, the valve, the rock, the geotextile, the landscaping timbers around the edge, of course the tire itself, the labor of cutting out that that tire tank on these big earth-moving tires. You don't just whip that sidewall out. It takes some labor and a lot of time to cut that out. Of course, the sackcrete to pour in the bottom. The valves, they're not cheap. I think that's it. Anyway, it's considerably, I think we figured out we can put in 3 of these to every tire tank. It's some crazy number like that. So anyway, we'll go over that in more detail, but this is a really, really poor old farm. Part of it, this has got the broom sedge on it right there. But up here on top, this was solid broom sedge behind me. And it's going bye-bye. We did lime it, and we've been feeding hay on it now. The sheep run on it, the cattle, and we put some phosphorus down on it. The first time ever this fall, we put down about 90 pounds of phosphorus per acre on it. And you can tell the broom sedge is not liking it one tiny bit. So I would say I just can't wait to see what it looks like next summer. It's going to be awesome. We're making inroads because I can see right here the fescue, this green stuff. See, it's coming up now. We didn't have any fescue in here. It was just solid broom sedge. And the reason it was solid broom sedge is this farm really got mistreated in the past. It was burned every year. And then after they burned it, whatever came up that summer, they would take the hay off of it and just give the hay away. Well, they did that for like 8 to 9 years. And so the poor farm, the fertility just got hammered. And anything that dared to grow on it in the fall, winter, it was burned off. And so you had this farm sitting barren all winter long, nothing on it. And you got rain, there went all your, I call soil cheese or your soil armor. It was just gone when they burned it. So I'm not a big fan of burning. And I know burning has its place. In warm season grass fields, a lot of people burn them, and supposedly it makes the forage better. We've got some warm season grass fields. We don't burn them. We graze them. But, everybody's different, and that's fine. That's what makes the world turn around. Turn around, go around. Sorry about that. Somebody asked me the other day, about our editing software. I just have to be open and frank with you all. If you all haven't figured it out by now, I've never edited a video in my life. And so whatever you get out here on the farm, that's what you get. So I don't have any editing, so I don't have time. We're running a farm here, several farms, and the cattle and the sheep and the boys, and we're doing a lot of things that you just don't have time to go home and spend, editing. I just don't. And so I'm not, that's not what you're going to get here. You're just going to get, I guess, blue jeans and a t-shirt type, video here. So anyway, I wanted to thank you all for checking in, and everyone, this is the 28th of December. And we're so happy that the weather we've been getting, I guess the weather is going to be changing now. We've got a snow and ice system coming in on Tuesday, which will be tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. But right now, we're just thankful for every day we get like this. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Those of you all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you would, and that like, I'd appreciate it. And we'll be back on this pond again, and I'm going to show you what Johnny did. So burn that little video, that little memory right there into your mind. We'll call this Jane's Pond episode number 1. The next one's going to be episode number 2, Jane's Pond. So you'll see a difference between 1 and 2 when I post it. Anyway, thank you all, and everyone, again, have a great new year, and be safe out there, and we'll see y'all.